Hey, high levelers, Rayo Daniel here, and I'm excited to bring you an update regarding the new settings and the setup of conversation AI bots inside of the high level platform. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the latest updates that high level has been putting into the AI systems, conversation AI has changed to incorporate some of the new features that have been integrated. And I'm going to go over what those features are inside of this video, as well as go over some of the new setup and way to configure conversation AI bots inside of the high level platform. So right now, let's hop into it and see what we got. So here we are inside of one of my demo accounts. And what I'd like to do is hop right into the settings area and go right over to conversation AI. Now, there are going to be a couple of new features, and as I run across them, I'll explain them to you here. But right now, let's go ahead and click on create a bot right here. So we're going to click on create a bot. Now, of course, we get two options if we want to just do a general Q&A or an appointment booking bot. But most of the time, if you're going to be doing bots with conversation AI, the point about it is the end result, you want it to do more than just answer questions. You want it to be able to book an appointment some way, shape, or form, either on a service calendar, an estimate calendar, a discovery call, something. But you want to get the information to book an appointment. So I'm going to choose appointment booking and click continue. Now, here's the first thing that I want to sit back and introduce is brand voice. Brand voice, if you're not familiar with it, is a new feature release that HighLevel has put in place that allows a central way for you to record or basically put all of your business information into one area, and then any written communication inside of HighLevel, whether it be the conversation AI bot, because it is writing information to the chat widget, whether it be your blog article, whether it be content AI, whether it be anything like that at all. Brand voice is now going to be a central way where you can put in your business, your company information. You can put in what your business is here for, what the purpose of your business is, the tone of the writing that you want your business to be in. All of those settings can now be inside of one central area called brand voice. Now, the point of this is just, again, so that if you go into different areas of high level, you don't have to keep adjusting the tone. You're not having a friendly or playful tone in one area and a professional tone in another one. So people are getting different responses back or different tones of messages throughout different parts of your account. So it's just a way to centralize all of that. Now, to save time, I've already created a brand voice, and I've actually have a whole other video regarding brand voice and configuration and things like that on my YouTube channel. You guys can watch and go over how I break all that stuff down. But just understand, you will have to create a brand voice first in order to move forward. Now, the cool thing about it is that you can have multiple brand voices. And let me see, if I click on this, yeah. Let me just kind of show you real quick here. I'm not going to create it, but here we're going to have to put in at least a brand name. You don't have to put in your website. That's not really required, but a brand name. You're going to have to choose a tone for your brand. And really, those are the two things that you could do right away, but there is some additional information here. So if I choose friendly, trustworthy, confident, innovative, but keep in mind, if I expand this additional information, there are some additional areas on here you need to configure, like target audience. Who are you trying to target? Who are you trying to speak to in this brand voice? And then your customer pain points. So what are their pain points? And all of this information is going to be used with AI to help write the tone of the messages, including the information messages coming back from conversation AI. So again, this is a new feature here, and I don't want to go over all of it. I'm just going to go ahead and click cancel. To get back to the main bot screen here, I'm going to get back into appointment settings. I've already created one here for this one called Digital Agency that has all of this information filled out. But this is something that you will have to do first. You will have to have something here in order to continue setting up your conversation AI bot. So moving forward, click next. Now we get the bot settings. So this is where if you want to do, we can just do website, chat widget. I'll just leave it at that. Now here, preferred channels. These are all very similar. I don't want Instagram. I don't want Facebook, SMS, the chat widget. I just want to do the live chat for this one. And again, all the initial settings, if you want to have an initial message come into your live chatbot, what is conversation going to say initially? If you don't put anything in there, it'll just have a sort of a generic greeting, but you can put something in here very similar to how voice AI allows you to put a beginning. What is the introduction message that you want to do? They've included an initial message here now in conversation AI. Now, one of the cool things is you can check this box, which I'm going to do to make this your primary bot. So you don't have to go back and switch it later for this one, but this is the primary one that's going to be running. And then click next. We're going to see here some of the bot goals. These are pretty cool. They really have made this, try to make it as easy as possible with you configuring this, but keep in mind, here we've got information, their name, email address, and phone. Those are always typically collected. There's address in the city. Those are additional pieces of information that you could have selected if you want to. But here's the information right here that you can actually ask. And one of the nice things about it is now you don't have to sit back and go and customize a prompt inside of ChatGPT or something like that. You don't need to know how to customize that to basically get additional information. So let's just say you do have custom fields. You want to gather additional data on this particular conversation about your customer for whatever reason. You can simply come here and click on Ask Question. Notice how the format of this asks the user for their phone number. I'm going to put down here, ask the user how tall they are. Okay. So right now that's it. And the reason I'm doing this is because I actually have a custom field inside of my system called height. I was using it on a previous demo, but here I put height. And then now you can see that it's going to ask this question, how tall are you? And it's going to record that information inside of the height custom field. And then just put an example of the response. I am 5 feet, 10 inches tall, something like that. So that right there, you need to give it an example of what you're looking for. Now, some of the cool things about this, if you haven't already seen this, is skip the question if it's already filled. Now, this is pretty cool because why is this? So if you're coming across and let's just say if you already have this information, already have certain pieces of information, then you don't need to ask again. So that's pretty cool that they've included this in here now so that you don't need to ask repetitive information if it's person that's already inside of your CRM system. So that's pretty cool. And then appointment booking, we just have a calendar. I think it's book a call with me. If you want to trigger the workflow after the booking, so all of this stuff is nice and just right here, all in one spot. You can come here and allow the bot to cancel and reschedule appointments if you want to, since you're already dealing with this. Why not allow that? And then your email settings. Now, these are all the settings you get initially, okay? But there are whole other things that you have to go back into once you actually save this. So what we're going to do is click on save. And we're going to come back and say, okay, how do you want this bot to be on? Do you want it to be on, suggestive, or autopilot? Now, if you remember, off is just that, off. Suggestive means that it gives you prompt information of how to respond, but it doesn't automatically respond. So right now, we can just simply go to autopilot if we want to and click save and close. Now that we actually have your bot created, we have this website chat widget here that we've made as primary. If you click on this and open it up, now you see we have several other tabs in here that we can configure. So once you've gone through that initial wizard, that's just an upfront configuration. But once you do that, you will have to most likely come back in here and polish and check on a few things. So right now, this is where you can turn the off and suggest it back on to different things if you wanted to. Notice you can come here and change any of these settings that you normally could before. Here's where you can come in and opt in for an unlimited AI employee. So if you're using this enough, it's going to cost 2 cents per response, basically. So again, that's something to keep in mind. However much you use this, you might want to move to AI Unlimited, the AI Employee Unlimited plan, in order to keep your costs down. So here for the bot training, this is a cool thing that I want to show you, and the second new feature release that HighLevel has, and that is called knowledge bases. Now here, if we take a look here, first of all, let me help you understand knowledge bases. First of all, if you take a look over here on the left-hand side, you'll see that we do have this new feature over here called knowledge base if you haven't seen it. Now, I'm going to go here real quick and show you. But one of the things I want to show you before I do is inside of this bot training, for those OGs that have been with HighLevel for a while, and you remember how conversation AI used to be set up, the old user interface, there used to be some bot training things in here. You used to be able to configure the bot, and you'd be able to put in like your company's website, maybe a Google document, some frequently asked questions and things like that. The problem that HighLevel has with this, when introducing voice AI, is how do you have voice AI and conversation AI, both of which are working in the business, if you think about it. They're both, one's answering voice phone calls, the other's answering website inquiries or social media posts or things like that. But how can you have both of these AI systems now having the same database, or in this case, knowledge base, where they can share the same information, be able to answer questions and respond the same way, whether it's a voice call or whether it's through the website chat widget or social media or so forth. And that is what HighLevel has done with knowledge bases. They basically pulled this piece out of conversation AI that used to be in here for training conversation AI. And they built this whole new thing called knowledge base. And I'm going to move over here and show you. So right now, here are the knowledge bases that are available. And I'm going to show you knowledge bases are not complex. Really what they are, they're just the simple way of being able to sit back and, give me a second here. The simple way of sitting back and configuring a particular knowledge base for whatever it is that you're looking to do. Now here, if you take a look here, notice that I have several of these already pre-configured for this one here. And so I can open this thing up here. Let's just say I open up this massage therapist knowledge base. And here's what I get. I get a web crawler, which if you take a look at this is very similar to, if we go here to add source and we do web crawler, this should look very similar to how the old conversation AI training area used to be, where you could put in an exact URLs with a certain path, or if you want to go take this domain and all the other pages on this website, read all of them and put all of them in there. Or if you just want one URL, like for instance, I like personally using Google Docs, I'll create a Google Doc with a big FAQ and post all the information in there, and then have the web crawler refresh it, update the page. And then this way it's pretty cool because now I can just have one document that I can maybe reuse over and over again. So here, if you take a look here, this is a massage therapist. This right here is a Google Doc that I actually had created that I give away basically in my free training courses. But you can also have FAQs if you don't want to put them in there, if you want to manually add an FAQ, you can come here and do that. So you see, this really is the same way that conversation AI used to be, but now it's in a separate third-party object inside of HighLevel. And because of this, Now you could share this knowledge base between both voice AI and conversation AI so that now they can read this information and be on the same page, or again, the same database whenever they're answering questions, which I think is pretty cool. So right now, if we come back over to conversation AI, we'll see that you got a website chat widget. I'm going to open this back up, come back into bot training. And rather than doing training, now notice all I have to do is click on this and I see all of the knowledge bases that I currently have inside of my system. So I can sit back, and here's the cool thing about this. If you take a look, add up to seven knowledge bases with conversation AI. So again, if I wanted to, I could select massage therapists, go down the list and select just up to 7 if I wanted to. But this is just a cool thing that they've done, is now they've created this common knowledge base with, by the way, a little add-in. Knowledge bases are now included in snapshots. So now if you create a snapshot, you can actually store those knowledge bases inside of your snapshot. And when they're deployed, you don't necessarily need to go through reprogramming at all. You just simply come into the website chat widget. If you already have one configured, or conversation AI, which is again is also configured in snapshots, all of that stuff can already be pre-built and configured inside of your AI system automatically, so that you're setting up an AI agency and setting this features up for a client would be a piece of cake, because you already have all of this stuff pre-built, pre-configured inside of a snapshot. When you deploy it, boom, all you do is maybe update, change the knowledge base to something else, and AI is updated and ready to go right off the bat. Pretty cool. So this is where you can literally have an AI agency up. No kidding, guys, within a day. Within one day, if you pre-build this stuff, when you have a client, you can set this thing up and get them onboarded easily, very quickly and easily. So again, this is the second feature I thought was pretty cool about how to do this and being able to sit back and choose your knowledge bases. Now, brand voice, they've included this just in case you ever want to go in and change what your brand voice is. Here in the setting, you can sit back and change it, create a new one, things like that. Here's your bot goals. Again, we saw a little bit of this about the name, so you can update this information in this particular screen. But here's the thing that you didn't get. In case those people that are really higher level and you really want to fine tune your AI, conversation AI bot a little bit, and you're a little bit more versed in building out prompts and additional instructions in a prompt, they do give you the area here to still build this initial thing out here. As well as if you ever want to come back and change this initial message after you actually create your bot, you can come here and change it and things like that. So this is an area, they don't give it to you initially during the wizard, but you can come in here and change and add additional instructions later. So they didn't remove that. Typically in the bot goals, this is where you would see the prompt typically in this area, but Highlevel is really trying to break this out to make it easier for novices to get started, to just simply say, hey, I want additional information. Let me click here and ask another question and connect that to a custom field that I already have configured. Wow, how easy is that? So now the bot will just do that. Now, the last thing is, and I don't have any statistics to do this, but here's where it's pretty cool. So now you can take a look at seeing how well your conversation AI bot is being used. So now you have a little bit of a dashboard. You can come back here and say how many contacts over this time period. So you can track things like how many people did this thing interact with on a website over the last week or within this time frame, or you sit back and change the channel, say, let me look at live chat. How many live chat contacts have I done? Actions that were triggered, how many workflows and things like that were kicked off as a result of it, how many appointments that were booked. So now you don't need to go back and look at that. You've got this nice little dashboard that will tell you how effective things are. And your clients can even come in here and look at this and see, wow, this is how many people this conversation AI bot has affected in the last week or month. So again, I want to just give you a quick breakdown of the new conversation AI features, the 2 new features, the brand voice that got created, as well as the knowledge bases that both are now integrated with conversation AI. So those are new. And if you don't know what those are, hopefully you do now after this video, and you can go in and configure these things very quickly and easily. But guys, thanks so much for hanging in there with me. I hope you found this video useful to give an update regarding conversation AI and the new features. If you did, smash the like button, leave me a comment. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to sit back and answer them for you. As always, I appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Don't leave until you do. You're going to regret it later if you don't. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me, and have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.